So did the next Nintendo Direct that we are largely expecting to take place in February actually leak ahead of any kind of official announcement for this thing from Nintendo? And does somebody have all the inside information of the games that could potentially be at this showcase? Well, that's the question we're tackling in today's video, because you've probably seen a lot of headlines flying around online recently saying apparently the next Nintendo Direct is leaked. These are going to be the games that are featured, and all of this is stemming to a Princess Peach Showtime trailer that did go live yesterday with some brand new details and a post from 4chan, which sometimes can be a red flag scenario. There's a lot of fake stuff on 4chan, but there's also legitimate leaks on 4chan that you just kind of disregard and don't pay any attention to until something is proven right. And it's normally then discovered after that said information is right. And that's what we have going on here, although with one big asterisk with the entire story. So we're going to unpack all of that. Before we do, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on your bell notification to join Sunbro Nation if you're new here. And we first have to discuss that brand new Princess Peach Showtime trailer, because that's where all of this started to gain traction, due to the fact that this particular user did mention the cowgirl and ninja segments in the Princess Peach Showtime trailer ahead of their official announcement. Now, there's one big problem with this detail, and that is the fact that those icons were actually spotted in the original Princess Peach Showtime trailer. So while it wasn't 100% confirmed with names of ninja and cowgirl, I mean, you look at the icons and you can definitely see that that is the exact style that Nintendo was going for. And that's the big detail that a lot of people missed before running with the story and thinking that all of these things, all of these leaks that we're going to be talking about will for sure come true. This is not Pioro we're talking about, which when and if we see Pioro leak stuff, I will warn you guys ahead of time, literally spoiler territory at that point. But this is an account that we don't know very much about at all. In fact, it is a 4chan post, and it is going off of the fact that it's accurately leaked cowgirl and ninja costumes from Princess Peach Showtime, which again, there's a massive flaw with that being the reliability point. So keep all that in mind as we're going to read through their post here. But I do actually think that it has some interesting, what I would call predictions, and some actually likely titles that we could see included, some of which more than others, but we'll break all that down. You can see the following post over on X from PC Focus, which reads, 4chan user who correctly leaked the cowgirl and ninja segments in Princess Peach Showtime has other leaks for the upcoming Nintendo Direct. The supposed new games are Fire Emblem 4 Remake releasing in May, Donkey Kong Country is getting a new game for its 30th anniversary, Metroid Prime 2 Remastered, Grezzo remake of the Zelda Oracle games. That feel-good game is getting localized, Famicom Detective Club returns as Nintendo Detective Club, 5 high school girls must solve various crimes that they are personally involved with. That one's oddly specific. So that's not a bad group of games by any stretch of the imagination. Like, listen, if we get Metroid Prime 2 Remastered in addition to anything Donkey Kong at this event, it's already going to be a top tier event for me. Whether it's 2D, 3D Donkey Kong, I don't care. I'm ready for a new DK game. But the big problem with this, again, and I'm treating these as predictions from this user, not any kind of leak, it has to do with the fact that that initial Princess Peach Showtime trailer really did reveal to us the fact that we would be getting that ninja and cowgirl outfit. And so all of the credibility kind of goes out the window. And to further drive home that point and kind of rein in your guys' expectations, in case if you were hoping that all of these games would for sure be there, we do have Nate the Hate chiming in, as well as Necro Felipe, two people that I would put a lot more stock into than this random 4chan user, where Nate the Hate first says, I had been wondering if we had seen the ninja or cowgirl Peach costumes in prior trailers as a sizzle reel sequence. This is close enough. The rest of the rumor consists of safe guesses and only got attention due to the costume claim, which can be accounted for from September. Now, Necro Felipe then responds at the bottom and says it's false because the next DK will not be country. Now, I believe Necro Felipe means that leaked list is entirely false and not just the DK game portion, although we have seen some rumors about a Fire Emblem 4 remake floating around out there. We know the DK is set for something new in the world of Nintendo, since it's literally been 10 years as of this year in 2024 since his last brand new mainline entry with Tropical Freeze, originally released on the Wii U. And Metroid Prime 2 Remastered is more or less a shoe-in. It might not be at the February Direct, but I really am expecting it to be there, and I'm personally personally thinking that we see something like that Pikmin 1 and 2 treatment, where Metroid Prime 2 and 3 get bundled together due to the rumors suggesting that those games aren't getting quite the level of in-depth remaster that Prime 1 Remastered got, and they'll probably just be a more simple HD upres with some quality of life improvements and better controls and things, and those games will be likely bundled together, dropped at the same time, and that is going to be a big win at this upcoming February Direct if we do indeed see it there. The possibility of there also being a DK game revealed at this thing seems like wishful thinking in my opinion. I definitely think that the DKs, the Marios, and maybe even Metroid Prime 4, that's kind of the coin toss game for me currently on whether or not we'll see it at the February Direct, but I think we're going to see a lot more ports and remasters and less massive new announcements until we are past the end of the fiscal year, which is the end of March 2024, because I do believe that Nintendo will be revealing hardware potentially in the month of March, and if not, very shortly thereafter. And it doesn't rule out the possibility that Nintendo could show us some games that are just marketed for the Switch at this upcoming February Direct, and then turn around and actually confirm them to also be coming to the Nintendo Switch successor that we will just be calling the Switch 2 for the sake of simplicity. They could easily do that, but I also wonder if they show us a game like Metroid Prime 4 and it looks visually stunning, is it not going to very much tease and hint to the fact that this is likely running on more powerful hardware that we just don't know about yet? So they may hold off on some of the big game announcements until we actually do get the hardware reveal, and that's when I'm kind of expecting to see what's next from Mario and Donkey Kong at this point in time in terms of their new mainline games. And if anything, if we're extremely lucky, we'll get a look at Metroid Prime 4 at this upcoming February Direct, and then maybe the show closer is either that, the Metroid Prime 4 trailer reveal, or that could be the show opener, and then I'm thinking like ports and remasters from there. Is it the Oracle games getting the remaster treatment instead of something like Wind Waker and Twilight Princess? Well, that's entirely on the table. Link's Awakening did very decent from a sales perspective. It obviously was not one of the most popular Zelda entries, especially whenever you compare it to things like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, but for 2D Zelda, just getting a modern coat of paint and an old existing game that you can just bring back to life by putting some work and love into it, I think they could easily copy paste that strategy with the Oracle games, sell them of course together on one cartridge, don't sell them individually, that would be a nightmare to do. But anyway, I think Nintendo could easily do that with those games, but I also could see them doing Wind Waker and or Twilight Princess maybe individually released or potentially as a bundle pack, but I could see Nintendo doing them together as one. And I do think that since we are at the end of the Nintendo Switch life cycle, if we're going to expect any kind of decent sized announcements ahead of any kind of hardware reveal, we should be more in the realm of fan service games, ports and remasters that are easy for them to pull off, that fans just want to go out and purchase because we want to play them on modern hardware. And while the prospect of something Donkey Kong Country for the 30th anniversary sounds like a great idea to me, like I would honestly love to see Donkey Kong Country 1, 2, and 3 all remastered with full-on HD textures. Just give it the Super Mario RPG treatment where you completely remake it from the ground up with the visual quality, but it's still the exact same games, and give us the entire trilogy as one collection pack. I think that would be freaking incredible, but I also am not expecting it to happen at this event, and that's where I really wanted to get on the same page with you guys around this leak. Don't go around thinking that the entire Nintendo Direct is leaked just due to some of the titles out there online right now. If you deep dive this thing, this particular leak, while sometimes you can find reliable posts that were proven to be true from 4chan, this one does not appear to be that. And that's where I really want to hear from you guys at this point in the video. Your personal thoughts and opinions on this round of Nintendo Direct leaks, quote unquote. Do you buy into any of these? Do you think that yes, indeed, the ninja and cowgirl outfits were just a little bit too hard to predict, even though we'd kind of seen the icons in the previous trailer? Do you think that it's something that maybe this user does indeed have accurate info and you're expecting some of these games, if not all of these games, to show up at the upcoming Direct? Or are you kind of like me and you're thinking Nintendo will be holding a Direct and we will hear about it sometime soon, likely early February, but you're not necessarily expecting to see the list of games mentioned here? And finally, what games are you most hopeful that we do see featured at this Direct? So regardless of your thoughts and feelings on everything we talked about today, I do look forward to hearing from you all in the comments down below before you leave the video, as I do look forward to getting a back and forth conversation started with you all around these topics. Go watch the video on screen next if you haven't already. Also make sure you like, subscribe, turn on your notification bell, and I will see you guys in the next video.